Good day, dear cadets. We will continue our international maritime law model. And the topic of today is safety of life at sea. Safety of life at sea convention, Solas convention. After the completion of this course, the cadets, you will be able to understand the reason for the adoption of the convention, the objectives and scope of application of this convention, the amendment procedures, the content and nomenclature of convention, the various amendments to the convention since its adoption. The trigger of adoption of this convention was a Titanic disaster which happened 14th of April 1912. So the disaster take away lives of more than 1,500 people. And it was disaster which just pushed ahead the maritime industry to consider to create some regulations, yes, to create some convention. Generally, the Solas Convention regarded as the most important of all international treaties concerning the safety of merchant ships. The first version was adopted in 1914 in response to the Titanic disaster, as it was said before. So the first version of Solas Convention was prescribing the number of lifeboats, other emergency equipment, safety procedures, continuous radio watches. But unfortunately, this convention never entered into force because of World War I. The second convention in 1929, third in 1948, and the fourth convention was adopted in 1960. Solas Convention, in our days we say Solas 74, sorry. Solas 74 structure. So convention itself consists of 13 articles. But most important, the focus of our attention should be put on the annexes. There are, in our days, 14 chapters. So 14 annexes. These annexes, these chapters are covering almost all aspects of the marine operations at sea. So it's covering all, aspects of the ship construction, the equipment, safety equipment, life safety equipment, the requirements for the ship construction, like nuclear ships, and so on, so on. So you see here the structure of the convention itself. As I said, there are 14 chapters. We will talk about them during this presentation. So one of the most important points which we should understand that the requirements of a convention, the application of the regulations are differently applicable to different types. So, for example, all passenger vessels, irrespective of size, they are sailing under the Solas Convention. All cargo vessels more than 500 gross tonnage. Regulation of Chapter 4, for example, radio communications, applicable to cargo ships more than 300 gross tonnage. Safety of navigation to all cargo ships. Bulk carriers are sailing under the carriage of cargoes. And chapter 7, carriage of dangerous goods to all cargo vessels. Here you see the table of chapters and application, and we should pay attention to it. Now let's go through this list of chapters. Chapter 1 consists of the regulations relating to general provisions. So application, there are a list of definitions, what is the vessel, and so on, so on. So part B, it's a part A, yes? And part B is a survey and certificates for passenger ship safety, cargo ship safety, the construction of cargo ships, equipment which is compulsory, should be installed in compulsory on board of different types of the vessels. So chapter 2, there are two parts chapter of chapter 2. So chapter 2/1, construction, subdivision and stability, machinery and electrical installations of vessels. So why it's important? Because so we need to establish the minimal requirements to the ship construction. So, and how it should be divided on some parts. So for passenger ships it should be different, ro-ro passenger ships. For our first year cadets I can explain what is the ro-ro. Ro-ro, it's passenger ships combined with cargo vessel. So it's a roll in, roll out. So in this type of vessels, the cars, the cargo cars, general cargo cars can enter directly on board of this vessel. So oil tankers. Part B1, subdivision, damage stability of cargo ships. Part C, machinery installations. So how it should be installed, what kind of propulsion, steering gear, controls, alarms. Alarms is one of the very effective instrument to increase our safety of our ships. Pressure system, noise levels, emergency installations. Part D, electrical installations, main and emergency power sources, safety. Part E, unmanned machinery spaces. So as you see, this is very important, and mainly it's related to our engineers, ship builders, and ship owners. So chapter 2/2, fire protection, fire detection and fire extinction. So here it's also prescribing all the requirements to the different types of the fires. So we can extinct, fires with water, but not all of them. So some type of fires we cannot distinguish by the water. It looks like water will distinguish every type of fire, but it's not correct. For example, electrical installations. For example, oil, which is in fire. So different extinguishers, sprinkler systems, smoke detection, flammable oils. So ventilation systems, fireman's outfit, fire control plans, international shore connection fire drills. So you see, this is very important, and International Maritime Organization just prescribing generally, but all aspects of the life on board of vessel. Part B is fire safety measures for passenger ships, because it's a little bit different, yes, from the oil tanker, let's say. Part C, fire safety measures for cargo ships. Again, so very detailed. Part D, fire safety measures for tankers, construction, ventilation, inert gas firefighting system. Okay, so chapter 3. Chapter 3 is about life-saving appliances and arrangements. There are also part A, part B with sections. Yes, you see the part A is general, part B is ship requirements, section 1 is passenger ships, section 2 it's passenger ships with additional requirements, section 3 cargo ships, Part C is life-saving appliance requirements, and you see all these lists which are in detail gives us information how we should maintain our life safety. Yes, safety of people's life. Chapter 4, radio communication. So, as you know, hopefully, that the Titanic sent radio signals, SOS signal, all around in the vicinity by radio. But because at that time there were no requirements for 24/7 radio watch, nobody just received this signal. So, and unfortunately we have so many human lives lost. So radio communication, there are part A, part B and C. So you see the requirements: undertaking contracting government's installation on shore-based radio communication facilities, which is also very important. Ship requirements, equipment, watches, sources of energy. So, and it should be independent, it should be with a backup, and it should be very reliable. Chapter 5, Safety of Navigation. This chapter is very important. It's a kind of main chapter for the deck officers. Safety of navigation. They are all described about the equipment, the meteorology services, ice patrol, ships routing. This is about voyage planning, so VHF communication, equipment manning, search and rescue operations, pilot transfer arrangements, operation of steering gear, navigation, bridge visibility. This chapter is covering almost all aspects of the deck services, deck officers on board of the vessel. Next chapter is chapter 6, carriage of cargoes. Here also part A, part B, part C. You see general provisions, special provisions for bulk cargoes other than grain. During the stability courses, you will learn about the grain specialities, yes, so as a cargo. Part C, carriage of grain, so definitions, requirements, and as you already know, it's not just for fun made these specific parts, but it's very important. And when you sail on some specific vessel, you have to go directly to Solas and learn deeply about the type of your vessel. So here you see the screenshot of marinetraffic.com website. So it shows the number of vessels at sea. Here on Caspian Sea, on northern Caspian Sea, you can see only 13 vessels. As in the area of Black Sea, there is a number of 31 vessels. So, and what is it? Marine traffic, it's a online service which is making us able to see the vessel in distance. So, and because of the requirements of chapter 5, which is a requirement to install on the vessels, AIS system, automatic identification system, so we can receive the signal from the vessels and find out where they are, yes, where they are sailing, and more information on every vessel. Here you see how dense, area can be. So how many different types of the vessels there. It's Italia, yes, obviously you can see Italia, Sicily, and so on. So chapter 7, carriage of dangerous goods. Part A, carriage of dangerous goods. Part B, construction and equipment of ships carrying dangerous liquid, chemical in bulk. Part C, construction and equipment of ships carrying liquefied gases in bulk. Gas carrier, yes? So, at the end of presentation, you will find a list of codes which you can find under this Solas Convention. So one of them is IMDG code. So, and it's directly connected with chapter 7. So you see these requirements of IMDG code. International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code, yes? So IMDG. Okay, chapter 8 is about nuclear vessels. Chapter 11/1, special measures to enhance maritime safety. Chapter 11, part 2, special measures to enhance maritime security. It's a ISPS. ISPS, it's an International Ship and Port Facility Security Code. So, and it was adopted after the 9/11 tragedy. It's a terrorist attack. So, and due to the regulation of ISPS, we have now very high level of security in the port area, port facility area. Okay, great. Chapter 11, additional safety measures for bulk carriers. So damage stability requirements, structural strength of bulk carriers built after 99, yes, 1st of July 99. So, and on older tonnage enhanced surveys and safety measures, so extra bilge alarms in holds, flooding scenarios, and detailed evacuation preparedness instructions. So, from the first IMO presentation, I tried to explain to you, dear cadets, the way how these conventions, these regulations are coming to us. So some disaster happens, then the investigation takes place, then the investigation goes to the governments gather on the IMO, and they start to discuss what we can do to prevent this type of disasters. And for this chapter, for the additional safety measures, the triggering point was a Derbyshire disaster with 44 people lives lost at sea. So another example is Herald of Free Enterprise. What happened? This vessel was sailing for many years as a scheduled vessel, so sailing from A to B, from port in the Belgian, Zeeburg, and it was, like as every usual day, yes. So on March 19, on 6 March of 1987, the Herald of Free Enterprise capsized just shortly after leaving the Belgian port of Zeebrugge. So what happened? The apparels weren't closed, and vessel just, because of there were no alarms on the apparel, and these, doors were still open. Vessel started to sail, and water started to flood in, and you see the capsize happened in just in couple of minutes. So disaster just took away almost 200 people's lives. So another example, it's Estonia. So it's Estonia disaster. So 1994, the vessel just disappeared in the stormy Baltic Sea. So 852 lives just, were taken away. This led to 1995 amendments of Solas, requirements of stability, requirements to compartments, and changes to Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 of the Solas Convention. What happened? So you see this part, the not after, but bow of the vessel. So this part of the vessel, because of waves, hit the vessel, it just was broken, and again water in stormy night time in the Baltic Sea just flowed in and vessel sunk. Unfortunately, this tragedy just happened as an example of what to create, how to build up our safety. Some new subjects adopted amendments to Chapter L12, yes, additional safety measures to bulk carriers. So you see, the ship owners, they want to transport more cargo, because with one route you spend the same amount of fuel, for example, and time with crew members, but you transport more cargo. It means you gain more money. Bigger vessel, more money. But it doesn't work, without any kind of borders. So you need to take additional safety measures for bulk carriers. So the Chapter 2, construction structure, so structure, subdivision and stability machinery, and electrical installation, fire protection, life-saving appliances and arrangements. Improving safety of bulk carriers. So bulk carriers, you see, this is inside of the bulk carriers. Yes, so the metal is just getting older, so it's getting less reliable. So, and finally, here you see on this picture how the waves can affect the cargo vessel and how it can just be broken. Some other new subjects adopted amendments in June 2003. Safety of navigation. So it's a persons in distress at sea. Chapter 3, accidents with lifeboats. Chapter 3, carriage of immersion suites. So this is increasing the safety of crew members. Another new subject is a voyage data recorder to assist in casualty investigations. So VDR, voyage data recorder. Please remember this abbreviation. Okay, it helps to investigate when the incident or accident happened. So the investigation can take the equipment from the vessel, which is a voyage data recorder, and make clear conclusions what happened. Here you see mandatory codes under the Solas Convention 74. So there are a list of codes. International Code for Application of Fire Test Procedures, Fire Safety Systems, Stability Code, and so on, so on, so on. You see this list of conventions. So, one of the most important conventions, safety of life at sea. You need to understand and just make as your second or maybe your first person inside yourself. So sailing is not as easy as it looks like. So you have to be ready, you have to be educated, you have to be trained, and then you will sail safely and you can maintain safety of the vessel, of cargo, environment, and your own life. Thank you for your attention. If you have questions, please email me, and I will be happy to answer your questions. There are chapter 13 and chapter 14. Chapter 14 is about the polar water, sailing, how to sail. And under this chapter, you can find the polar code, so-called, yes, polar code. And chapter 13 is about the verification, so of certificates of the ship construction, of the maintenance, and so on, so on, so on. So the complexity of these documents should not just take just not to scare you out. Yes, don't be scared. So everything is clear and important and directly applicable to some certain type of the vessel. For example, if you are sailing on oil tanker, so it means that the requirements of passenger vessel, nuclear vessel, fast sailing vessels not applicable to you. Yes, so it means you have to learn, you have to know only stuff which are directly applicable to you, to your vessel, to type of your vessel, and then you will be sailing safely. Once again, thank you for your attention, and good luck. Goodbye.